Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter. Hope you guys are having a great end to your weekend. It is 9:45 over here in Reno as I'm recording this review on a Sunday night. Got a quick review for you guys for Scoob, which I've had rented for a while, and I just went, I'll watch it at some point. And finally got around to it. This is directed by Tony Cervone, who was on the animation department and the art department for Space Jam and Cats and Dogs, respectively. It looks like this is his big directorial debut. He's done a lot of like TV and straight to DVD stuff. I know this is technically kind of straight to early digital, but if COVID hadn't happened, this would be his first theatrical directorial debut. And I gotta say, to the credit of Tony Cervone, I thought he did a damn good job with this. This is a movie that I think, even reading online, there's already people saying like, "Oh, this is the best," and "Oh, this is dog shit." And it's really funny that, as divided as we are, that Scooby-Doo is one of the things that's dividing people during this whole pandemic. I'll get into what I think about this. So, the movie is very basic. The movie starts off with Shaggy at the beach as a young version of himself. He is listening to this podcast about trying to go ahead and make friends, and he goes ahead and discovers Scooby-Doo on the beach. And a patrolman goes ahead and finds a stray dog and goes, "Oh, this is a stray. I'll go ahead and I'll take him to the pound." But Shaggy goes ahead and vouches for Scoob, says his dog, says, his name is Scooby Dooby Doo, and goes ahead and takes him home. Now, Zac Efron goes ahead and voices, sorry, not Zac Efron, pardon me. Will Forte voices Shaggy, Zac Efron voices Fred. But as far as Scooby, it's Frank Welker, which I didn't realize until I looked it up, and that was a very pleasant surprise. Not Frank Welker was the voice of fucking Scooby-Doo. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. The thing about this movie is that a lot of it rides on the relationship between Shaggy and Scooby, and I think that there are going to be some people who just, if you don't like anything else about the movie, I don't understand how you don't like the friendship between these two, because I found the relationship between Shaggy and Scooby as endearing as it's ever been. I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. I make no apologies for it. I remember watching the OG, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?, which is on HBO Max, and honestly, that will probably be what I'm falling asleep to tonight. I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan, so when I heard they were doing a new movie, I was all about it. And if there is a complaint, I really dug Gina Rodriguez. I'm just a big fan of her as Velma. You know her from Deepwater Horizon, Jane the Virgin, to name a couple things. I think Gina Rodriguez is absolutely wonderful. I really like Amanda Seyfried as Daphne. You of course know her from Mean Girls, Les Mis, Dear John, Mamma Mia. And Zac Efron is Fred. They do have a couple of jokes about Fred just being kind of an airhead, but Zac Efron has become one of those guys where if I see him in something, I see his name on the marquee or I hear he's in something, I instantly get more excited. I'm like, okay, like I'll go ahead and I'll give it a shot. Frank Welker, of course, as Megatron and Shockwave through multiple Transformer iterations. Frank Welker did a great job here as Scooby-Doo. I loved his relationship with Shaggy, who's played by Will Forte. And I would say for me, that's the biggest problem with the movie. I'm no big fan of Matthew Lillard. I think he's kind of a goon, especially because of Without a Paddle. But Matthew Lillard, when I think of a voice that defines Shaggy, it really is his voice that comes to the forefront of my mind first and foremost. So when I hear that he wasn't even reached out to be Shaggy, I go, well, that's really shitty. Okay, I would have. It's very reminiscent of when they did the Powerpuff Girls reboot, and they went ahead and went, well, we don't need Tara Strong. It's like, no, Tara Strong is one of the best voice actresses on the planet. You should probably reach out to her. So OJ, who has recorded for the podcast multiple times, if that's a complaint for you, I completely get it. Because while I think Will Forte does do a good job, it is jarring. It's very similar to when I hear DC animated properties, or really just Batman in general, and it's not Kevin Conroy's voice. I still have that kind of knee-jerk reaction of, oh, this isn't Conroy, and it takes a little bit for me to get used to. Also, the animation. Some people, I think, will be turned off by the animation initially. It does take a little bit for the animation to grow on you. I've mentioned it a couple times on prior podcasts. The Spider-Man, the animated series on MTV, the one that Neil Patrick Harris was the voice of, Peter Parker / Spider-Man, is very similar in that sense, that animation, where it is kind of jarring from what you've seen from prior iterations of Spider-Man, so it might throw you off a little bit. But stick with this movie. I really do believe it rewards you for sticking with it. The opening, as I mentioned earlier, it's fucking adorable. I thought it was so sweet. It is really funny that the patrolman goes, oh, well, your dog has a middle name. I can't go ahead and arrest you now. I was like, really? They jump to the scene where Shaggy and Scooby are working with Velma, Daphne, and Fred, and they go into this haunted house. And, of course, it's this guy who's gone ahead and stolen a bunch of, high-end electronics. And I love the joke where they go, oh, we're going to this one haunted house, but we're not going to make a habit of it. I love the way that the movie played with being meta. And some people might find that, as a detriment or a negative to the movie. I thought it worked really well because the movie acknowledges how batshit insane Scooby-Doo does get at points, and that whether you like it or not, the silliness is part of the canon of Scooby-Doo, and that's part of what makes it so fun. And I thought it worked so well here. I'm gonna kind of dance around stuff in this movie because there are some cameo. So the movie very clearly is trying to set up a universe, and I think some people will have issues with how they try to set up the universe because they set up a lot of moving pieces for potential films moving forward. Even if you stay through the credits, there are some Hanna-Barbera characters that make appearances that you go, wait, what? You're trying to go ahead and introduce this character and everything? And that might be a turnoff for some, but to be completely honest, because of the medium it's being presented in, as far as animation, I don't mind the way they went, you know what, we're going to kind of throw these multiple characters out there. If you like them, cool. If you don't, whatever. I didn't mind it, actually. Now, if this was another live-action Scooby-Doo movie and they're trying to introduce all these different characters from Hanna-Barbera, I think it goes down way harder, and I don't think that people are going to be as accepting of it. But me, personally, I really enjoyed it. You do get Mark Wahlberg here as Blue Falcon, and they call him Brian the whole time. I thought that was a really funny ongoing joke where he's trying to go ahead and play the hero, and he's got some daddy issues in the sense of his dad, the OG Blue Falcon, was such a badass, and how this new Blue Falcon, aka Brian, is trying to go ahead and not even really earn his dad's respect. He's just trying to earn the respect of the public, and how him and Shaggy and Scoob work off each other. I thought worked really well. Ken Jeong is the voice of Dynomutt, which when I saw Dynomutt was in here, I was like, really, Dynomutt? Fucking Dynomutt's in this? I thought Dynomutt was great. Ken Jeong, I'm a fan of his. I think he works more often than he doesn't. But I thought he was really great, and I won't say the name of the character that Jason Isaacs plays, but Jason Isaacs, of course, from The Patriot, Black Hawk Down, Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets, to name a few things he's been in. Also, the Castlevania TV series, which I think his voice acting as a judge is just next level brilliant. But again, I'm trying to dance around some of this because there are some surprises in this, and I would encourage you to stay through the mid credits at least. I'll be honest, I bought this and rented it from home. I didn't stay for the after credits. I was like, okay, I saw the mid credits. I think I'm good. Stick through the mid credits on this because there is a lot of stuff they do potentially set up that could be vital down the road. I thought what they do potentially set up, it could be very interesting if they go ahead and connect the dots the way I think they're going to. As far as some of the jokes, there was a great joke about Shaggy and Scooby being on the list of adventure, like they were like signing up to vote, and Blue Falcon and them play that gag up, and I thought that was actually really funny. There's a joke about Tinder on here that I thought was hilarious. The main villain in this movie, he has these robots that look very similar to something the Mousers that Baxter from Ninja Turtles used, and they kind of look like a hybrid of that and Invader Zim. And I thought those robots really did actually creep me out. There's a scene in a bowling alley with Shaggy and Scoob that I went, this is actually very effective as far as how, quote, dark, unquote, this is. And for a kid's film, I appreciate the violence that they went ahead and put behind it. There is a cameo, I will just say it's from a dog, from the Hanna-Barbera universe that I went, I'm so happy this is in CG. And I'm a fan of this character, and I was very happy they went ahead and did this. There's a joke, too, about the Hemsworth brothers, where the villain of the piece goes ahead and calls Fred a Hemsworth brother, and he goes, please tell me I'm Chris, don't tell me I'm Liam. I was like, damn, that's fucking cold. And you can almost hear Liam Neeson, in California or Australia or wherever he is going, what the fuck what did I do to you? I found that incredibly funny. But overall, though, this is a fun movie. This is not as good as Sonic, because I know some people might go, is it as good? It's not. It's not as good as Sonic the Hedgehog, because I genuinely do love that movie. But this is something I'll buy probably on Black Friday when it's on sale for maybe $12 or something like that. I had a lot of fun with this, and it was really fun to actually enjoy Scooby-Doo again, which, go fucking figure. So, for me, I'm going to give this a solid B-. I thought this was a lot of fun. Again, it ends with a, kind of like a dance number, which I'm never crazy when they do that. It does irk me. But the chemistry between the mystery team, I thought was really well done. There is, as I mentioned, some Hanna-Barbera cameos and some things they potentially set up that I went, okay, I'm intrigued, movie. Like, let's see where this goes moving forward. And I thought Shaggy and Scooby's relationship was so sweet. Even though I did find Shaggy being a bit more dickish than I would have liked. But the movie does do a good job of going ahead and establishing the core relationships of the mystery team. Even though they're not together as much as you would think they would be. So, even with all those kind of gripes, I thought this was a B-, solid B-. And I hope this gets a sequel. Because if they are setting up a Hanna-Barbera universe, again, stay through the mid-credits because you will see what I'm talking about. I think there's a lot of characters you can mine from that and go ahead and make feel important. So I'm excited. If they're going to go ahead and set this universe, hell yeah, sign me up. I'll go see movie about this character and a movie about that character. See, I'm going ahead and still dancing around it. But, guys, boys and girls, what did you think of Scoob? Have you seen it yet? Please let me know what you thought in the comments below. You can go ahead and like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. Go ahead and follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. You can go ahead and follow our colleague Colin at The Real. That's REELONEAL. And you can go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, please. Go ahead and share us, rate us. Go ahead and find us on SoundCloud. SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and iHeartRadio at The Real Pineapple. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll have reviews up this weekend actually not even just this weekend, but we'll have reviews up this week for District 9, which I am so excited to talk about that freaking movie. We'll have reviews up as well for The Photograph, as well as for Boys Don't Cry, and for the OG Avengers film. Not the one with Ray Fiennes and Uma Thurman. We're talking about the Marvel Avengers, the first Avengers film they did, as we go ahead and kick off my months to go ahead and celebrate my birth month. So lots of content coming your guys' way. So thank you so much for your support. Please stay safe out there. If you're marching, please go ahead and be careful, wear a mask. Again, thank you so much for your support, and we will talk to you guys soon. You take care.